Oh, this is going to be an odd one this morning, you guys. I'm trying something new. I have like all this techie stuff on here. And good morning. It's Friday morning, and it's a beautiful morning. I forgot to open the blind, so I'm not getting my sunlighting, which is going to make me nuts right now. But hey, it's the end of my week talking about blood pressure and heart disease, and we're going to dive in today to a little bit more about that. I have multiple things going on, so you're going to see me looking around, and hopefully we'll get this figured out. It's a little bit of a new thing for me, but really what's important is talking to you guys about insulin resistance and how this is affecting your blood pressure. So all week I've been posting videos on how insulin resistance is actually affecting your blood pressure, and there's like 5 specific ways. Today I'll deal with the last one, which is probably the one people hear about the most, and that's cholesterol, right? You all have heard about cholesterol and what that does. So, but would you be interested to it? It's not so much the dietary fats that you're dealing with, but the fact that it's the way your body is converting your energy into cholesterol that matters. So does it mean you have to take the egg yolks out of your eggs? No, you don't. Please don't do that. Does it mean that you can't have olive oil or extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil or butter or ghee? No, it doesn't mean any of that either. You should be having those things. So I'm going to dive into some of that today. We're going to talk about that, but I also wanted to talk about what you guys want to talk about, you all want to talk about, and what that looks like for you. So the 3 ladies up here, I'm one of them. We all were suffering with various different things. Cindy over here on the right did not have diabetes, was technically pre-diabetic, no diabetes yet. One in the middle, the name for her. Use her real name, Jane. And then myself, we both did. And so we've overcome that. Cindy's no longer pre-diabetic. She's done like freaking amazing. She's lost 120 pounds. So it's not just about the weight loss, though. I'm not just talking about, hey, you guys, I will not see your names as well on this particular. So forgive me if I miss you as you're joining in. But look, if you're suffering with any of those things, if this sounds like you, let me know. If you're suffering with any of the things above, you've gained weight that you can't get rid of, you're just having bloating that just doesn't seem to want to go away, you are having, like for me, I had muscle cramps, I had headaches, I had a number of things that I was not relating to diabetes or didn't even really understand insulin resistance at that point. I've learned all of this because I got sick, got better, and when I've been put on medications for years and years, I wasn't getting better, and then all of a sudden, this one protocol that I'm doing, and I'll talk about that in a bit, helped, and I'm like, how did that happen? So that's what I'm here talking about every single day, because I want people to know that they don't have to live like that. Look, you can do it. I'll give you a number of ways that you can do it. The protocol for me made it easy. Can you do it by adjusting your diet alone? If you have that kind of power, absolutely, I'm going to do that. It does require intermittent fasting. How many of you guys know anything about intermittent fasting and the benefits, or have you been told that you shouldn't do that? How many of you have just heard that you need to eat every 2 hours, or that you need to eat small meals, or that you need to eat before you get hungry so that you don't overeat? Do you think that you're not overeating when you eat small meals, like eating more often? You likely are. So my voice is breaking up. I don't understand. So I'm streaming from the computer. Not sure why the voice is breaking up there. I do have a mic, and I haven't used it for forever. I might have to get that out before I go live again. Let me know if it persists. I might just have to disrupt the live stream and come back later. Again, you guys, it's unfortunate. I live in an area I didn't know. Good morning, Janice. I love everything about where I live, but this one thing. And that one thing is, like, you guys, well, let's just chill for a minute this morning. I love talking about feel some resistance. We just hang out for a minute because I'm in that kind of mood. So I lived in Washington State for years. By the way, I found this picture. I wanted to share with you guys too. Like this is insane. This is me before the system. That's what I looked like 2 years ago. That was me, and I didn't realize it was like that. And okay, great, Janice. It may have something to do with my iMac, but I will definitely, before I go live again, I'm going to try and play with some things tomorrow. So I'll get that mic hooked up to the iMac tomorrow because I have a laptop and an iMac going. Usually I have, and tomorrow I'll have an iMac, a laptop, and a cell phone, maybe something else. We'll see. Thank you. So, since we're just chilling, I'll tell you that story in a minute. But see this? This is part of those amazing recipes that I have been working on. This is a berry cheesecake shake, a breakfast shake. So it's got, I don't know, about 600 calories in it, almost 30 grams of protein, a little bit of cream cheese, really good fats, and some fresh berries. No added sugar, and I'm kind of blowing myself away with this. I'm having fun doing these recipes. You guys, I was so resistant. Sometimes I'm going to admit, sometimes I can be this crabby old monster. Not really a monster, but I just get crabby and set in my ways. And it takes people kind of pushing me a lot for me to break out of. Thank you, Janice. You are so, so kind. I really like it. And y'all know I don't normally like shakes. I don't know what the keto chow is, Janice. So Janice is asking me, she's on keto, keto chow. I don't know because I don't typically eat full on keto. I eat what I call ketoistic, and so that means that I follow the principles for the most part, and then I have, I probably have a little more carbs from time to time. On a normal day, I try to eat more keto, but yeah, not always. So I don't know what keto chow is. Let me put that on my growing list of things. I'm really excited for the game because I guess when I get to dive in and do a bunch more research. My weekdays are so busy. But the internet story, Melba, this might make sense why I break it. I don't know if it makes sense or not. I love my iMac, but sometimes it gets cranky. But I lived on the West Coast, actually interior, Pacific Northwest, in northeastern Washington, North Idaho, northeastern Washington, Spokane, actually. My son and my one grandchild, I have 4 grandchildren back home there in the Pacific Northwest. That's where I still consider home. But my son moved out here with my 7-year-old grandson that everyone knows has my heart, 100%. I'm gonna change that picture. But when my son took a job with GE, he ended up out here on the East Coast, and my grandson has special needs. So I landed out here about a year after them to help take care of him. So when I was back west, I kept having problems with internet. First, I was in some really nice apartments in Boise, Idaho, before I moved up to Spokane, and we had nothing but problems there because it was just so many apartments. They just couldn't service it, not enough cell service. So I move up. I'm staying with my daughter to help her with the 3 grandkids, and I couldn't get cell service. I had to buy extenders, the whole shebang. You guys have done all of it. Still couldn't get internet. People told me I was breaking up all the time. I couldn't get people to stay on the line because it was just horrible service. So I moved out here. Amazing condo, beautiful facility. I love it. I just texted my kids last night, and I'm like, sometimes I forget how far I've come. But when I walk through my home and I smile, it reminds me. So anyway, I get here and I start having problems. It was okay at first, and then I start having problems with the internet. My daughter complains all the time that she can't hear me when we're on the phone. I'm like, I don't know what that is. So I started doing research, and sure enough, there's no cell tower in area. This one area out of every place I picked, the most, I still love the place, but it has no cell tower down here. So we kind of get bounced around, and every once in a while the cell service gets really bad because businesses and stuff around, we're all sharing the no cell tower area. So I don't know if that has to do with why I have no sound or it's breaking up over on Facebook and YouTube. But anyway, there it is. So I love it here, you guys. I'm in Maryland, above Baltimore. Down in Baltimore, there's quite a bit of crime, but where I'm at, it's so pleasant up here, so beautiful. The people out in the East Coast, I'm shocked because they're so compared to what I had in northeastern Washington, they're so polite and courteous here. And people, when I tell them that here, look at me like I'm crazy. Like, you think we're polite? Well, I guess it's all subjective, right? Depends on where you live. Hey, Richard. I really love this morning. So I've been playing with shakes. You guys know I don't like shakes very much, but I'm utilizing them a little bit now because I realize I'm playing with a different kind of fasting. Do you guys, those of you who know me, do you want to know what kind of fasting I'm doing now? Because we normally do the 16-8 on the protocol, right? This protocol helps with this insulin resistance. By the way, we're really here to talk about insulin resistance. But I will tell you a number of things that link in. If you see yourself on the list above, please talk to me about it. I would love to answer your questions. But to get your insulin resistance reversed, to get your insulin levels down, you guys, this is not, there's just no two ways about it. You need to do some fasting. Okay, this is not maybe you should do it, or that you need to do some fasting, intermittent fasting, if you want to get your insulin levels down. So understand that every single time you eat, you're spiking your insulin unless you're eating fat. So one of the reasons I love this shake, there's not a lot that I just made this morning, playing with recipes, but there's some good healthy fats in it, coconut milk, some heavy cream, but there's also some cream cheese, and then there's no sugar in it. Okay, it's real berries and some of our protein that from Unicity. But it meets my fats and my protein goal without breaking the sugar goal. So I like it. The ones that I've been playing with have been keeping me super full. Now with no gallbladder and that amount of fats, I will tell you that I do notice that. I do feel it. Not like it doesn't give me gastritis, but that amount of fats does move through the body differently when you have no gallbladder. But it's amazing, and I've actually started dropping weight again since doing that. So I really love that part of it. But let's go back to intermittent fasting. So when you're doing intermittent fasting, especially with the protocol that I'll talk about in a little bit, you guys, if you want to, you can start at 12 hours. Understand that when your insulin, which is a hormone, we need to understand that is present in your body, it takes about 8 to 10 hours after you've eaten for it to come down. Now, it depends on how insulin resistant you are, how diabetic you are, how many carbs you're eating. That will color how quickly that insulin comes down. It could take 12 to 14 hours for that to come down if you're eating super high processed carbohydrate foods all the time, if you're really insulin resistant, if you're having those problems. So if you're stopping your fast at 12 hours, for many people at the beginning of this, they're just getting to the point where their insulin level comes down, and I'll explain why all of that's important. But you're just getting to a point where your insulin levels are normalizing, and then start eating again. So for most of us, we're going to say our insulin drops at about hour 8. Okay, that's pretty typical. It still takes a couple of hours after that for the hormone glucagon, which is the one that works with insulin, or is the opposite, the yin to the yang, yang to the yin. it takes a couple hours after that for glucagon to come out, and a couple more hours for your digestive system to start to reset. So that means now you're in this state when your digestive system is resetting and your glucagon's been out for a little bit. Now you can burn fat, but now we've been 8 hours plus a couple hours plus a couple hours. We're at 12 hours. So if you fasted for 12 hours, you're just getting to the state where your body can do something really good for you, and then you start eating again. And when you eat again, you're spiking your insulin. Okay. So then you process all over. All right. So if you can make it to 14 hours, even better. Your digestive system is continuing to reset. You're continuing to have some good action. You're starting to have some fat burning. You're starting to have some positive effects. Between hour 14 and 16, fat burning starts to kick up another notch. So now this is why we do 16, especially if you're trying to get fat off your body. That between 14 and 16 hours is where you really start to get some benefit of fat burning. And if you stop sooner, again, you're just going to spike the insulin. So let's talk about insulin a little bit. Insulin does a number of jobs in our body. It really does one main job, but in that job, it has a lot of actions. Okay, so when we eat food, it converts into energy. When that energy hits our bloodstream, it's generally in the form of glucose, and then our body says, "Oh, there's all this glucose in the bloodstream, and we can't have all of that in here." So then it kind of calls out to the pancreas. Yo, pancreas, create some insulin, this hormone. The insulin grabs hold of that glucose and starts carrying it to every tissue in the body, every cell in the body. Then you're starting to get energy to your cells, your brain, your toenails, your gut, your heart, your tongue, your eyeballs. All of it gets energy. Okay. So, but when there's too much insulin, those cells start to shut down. And understand that insulin is a primary hormone. We've all heard about like estrogen, progesterone, DHEA. Not so many people hear about that. Most people hear about testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone, right? We hear about those a lot. It gives us this idea that those are main hormones in our body. For certain functions they are, but insulin takes precedence over all of those. It's the big bad hormone, the big good hormone in our body, really, because if we didn't have insulin, we'd be type 1 diabetic. But now, with insulin present, it's carrying energy. Its purpose is to make things grow. So it's what they call an anabolic hormone. It's a hormone of growth. So is testosterone. It's a hormone of growth. You've heard of anabolic steroids. That's because it's making things grow. So insulin wants things to grow. So what it's going to do is it's going to promote fat storage. It's going to prevent fat breakdown, and it's going to prevent you burning fat, because it's like, I worked really hard to get all this stored, and you're not going to take it away. So until you get insulin off of its guard duty, and the only way to do that is to stop continuously eating. Until that happens, you cannot burn fat. You cannot have a metabolism that's working. Yep. So Blayson, I know I said your name wrong. I'm so sorry. Says she dropped her sugars from 300 to the 130s in 1 month from intermittent fasting and diet changes. For 2 years, if you haven't joined me before, I'm the woman in the left up there, and I've lost 50 pounds, and I was doing great. Then I started suffering. The protocol has helped me. I will never stop using the protocol I use. I'm having them both. And I'm going to talk about why, baby girl. So I'm doing a different type of fasting right now. My daughter and I committed to try this because, I'm the guinea pig for all the stuff. I don't want to talk to you guys about things I don't know. If I haven't done it, I don't want to talk a lot about it. I did a 7-day fast, and then I did a 10-day fast. Do I think I want to do a 14-day fast? I don't think I'm ready for that. I just did a 5-day fast. I've done 3-day fasts. I've done 16-8. I've done all of these things to kind of like pay attention to my body. I'm pretty self-aware to understand what's going on. A good friend of mine who also does this protocol was talking the other day about a 36-hour fast. So it's every other day fast. And it got me interested. So I started doing some research on it, and I started looking into it. And I thought, you know what? Sometimes a 5-day fast is really hard for me to, you know, because honestly, you guys, I do it. And I'm really happy that I can do it. But 5, 7, 10-day fast takes some mental preparation, right? So to go without food for that long takes some mental preparation. It's not for the the weak of heart, like you guys. It's you got to dig in for that. No, I don't care what anybody says. You just got to dig in, and then the refeed process after is quite complicated, and you have to be careful. And now you're hungry, and you're happy that you're eating again, and you tend to want to overeat. So that's all that. 16-8 fast has worked for me for a long time, but the more research I do and the more studying I'm doing about my particular case and all the things that happened with me, I realized that I needed to step it up a notch. So then I feel like the universe gives you information when you need it. So protein shake is because I'm doing for 30 days. Jen at Fiber and Fasting is doing this as well. We're fasting, so every other day I eat. So on the days I eat right now, which is not typical and this is not required for the protocol, this is not normal for the protocol. This is I'm taking it up a notch. Okay. So yesterday I didn't eat all day. The day before I stopped eating at 7 p.m. So at 7 a.m. this morning, I had fasted for 36 hours. So in preparation for the live, I didn't have time to make a full meal, all that. I made a shake. Plus I'm working on some recipes. But the interesting thing is with the 36 or every other day fast, for me, for my mindset, I find it really easy. Now I'm getting those good benefits of autophagy. I'll dive into that. I'll tell you what the fast looks like real quick, and then we'll dive into some of the benefits. But I like it because I don't have to work myself up to not eat for a day. Heck, most days I go 16 hours anyway. So to just extend that a few hours and know that the next morning I'm going to eat and I can eat basically whatever I want, that's an easy reach for me. So today's a feed day for me on this. I'll be doing this for 30 days. And yesterday I was hungry, but again, mentally I can say, it's okay. You're going to go to bed. You go to bed, you sleep off. So, what, 16 hours of that, you're sleeping. So, yay. So now this morning I'm getting in good fats and protein first, because this is the first thing I've had since I stopped fasting 36 hours, stopped my 36-hour fast. Then I can eat within this 12-hour window. Does it mean I'm going to be eating continuously all this morning or all day today? No. But by 7 o'clock tonight, I'll finish eating, and then I'll repeat the process. So tomorrow will be a fasting day, and then Sunday will be an eating day, and on and on for days. It's actually, I have been, again, I have a bit different brain, but I really like it. I feel good. I feel clean. I don't feel weighed down. I feel like I'm still getting, so you have things happening between like hour 20 and hour 36 where your intestinal system is starting to reproduce stem cells. So if you're having things like IBS and Crohn's and a number of those things, this can be helpful for it. Clearing out those old stem cells in the gut, creating new ones, healthier ones, that all starts happening. Stem cells throughout the body start regenerating and having a good state of autophagy, so you're burning up. I'm 59, I got a lot of old cells that need to probably be swept away, and autophagy does that. So that's kind of a long version of why I'm doing a protein shake. The protein shake is not just protein. I've added fats. I don't know if you were here for that. So some coconut milk, some heavy cream, a little bit of cream cheese, about a half a cup of fresh berries, and a serving of our complete protein. So in that, it's giving me around 600 calories. It's giving me a full serving of almost 30 grams of protein and some really healthy fats. Now, those fats, this will barely spike my insulin at all, okay? Because there's not a lot of sugar in there. The proteins in there and the berries in there will spike the insulin a little bit. The fats in there basically don't spike the insulin at all. So it's almost like I'm getting a little bit of extension out of that 36-hour fast by starting my morning with this. And it freaking tastes like raspberry cheesecake. So those of you who've been knowing me for a while know I don't never do protein shakes or meal replacement shakes and stuff in the morning. Generally, I would have bacon and eggs, or sausage and eggs or something like that. But I don't have time. I have a pretty full routine of things I do in the morning. I don't have time to cook bacon and eggs. Today now, because it's a 36 and 12-hour fast, I have 12 hours to eat. So I will likely have 3 meals today. I still want to keep the meals pretty clean, right? If I want to go get a croissant, I can. But do I want to? No, because I'm doing a lot of work to clean this up. So my next meal may be those bacon and eggs that I was talking about. I'm going to be working on, there's a smothered chicken that I've made for years. I'm going to be putting that together and photographing that for the cookbook that I'm working on. So it's not like I'm doing without, guys. That chicken has cheese on it, fresh tomatoes. I love mushrooms, some sauteed mushrooms. It's good. I'm not depriving myself of anything. In fact, some doctors and scientists who've talked about this fast that I'm doing now, this form of fasting, which is similar to the 16-8, it's just an extended version of it. Okay, I'm actually getting in a little bit less meals over the week, but even though I'm having 3 meals in a day. So if you're a foodie like me, and you feel like you can do the full day fast and not eat for those 36 hours, go to bed, sleep one off, have your day, sleep the next one off, and then have 3 really nice meals the next day. This could work for you. So yes, the last time on my feed day I had like some peppered steak. It's not OMAD. This actually works better than OMAD because OMAD you're having 1 meal a day. So right when you get into that state of really good autophagy with OMAD, you're shutting it down. Okay. So these types of fasting for everybody else who doesn't know, 16-8 means we're not eating for 16 hours. We're eating 2 meals within an 8-hour window. OMAD, now we're eating 1 meal a day. We're waiting about 24 hours, 23 hours. We're having a meal, and then we wait another 24 hours, have a meal, and that's OMAD. So OMAD is good, but now think about that. You're trying to get all of your nutrients for the day in there. Now, when I'm on my fasting day, by the way, I'm still doing vitamins. I'm still doing electrolytes. So it's not like I just do water. I do my tea, baby girl. So like yesterday when I was fasting, I did, I think, 2 of these teas, and I did an electrolyte drink, and then I had my like omegas, my CoQ10 and what as well as magnesium, calcium, D3, K2. I don't want people to think that I'm just like not eating and not getting nutrients in, because I'm being very careful about what I'm doing. So that's what I would recommend too. If you're going to do anything like that, electrolytes. Guys, don't with your electrolytes. That's when you're going to get headaches. That's when you're going to get cramps. You're going to have all that going on. So with OMAD, breaking that, and with this type of fasting, you're actually getting in. So I'm getting in a couple of meals less than I was doing 16-8, but I'm getting in a couple of meals more nutrition than OMAD, and yet I'm getting in more autophagy and some of those benefits from the fasting that we really want to get to. Because remember, you're not really getting into your autophagy, and the cells that you start to burn up really ramps up by about 300% around that hours between hours 24 and 36. So when you're doing OMAD, you cut that short. I can do some videos on this too. I just have not, because I don't want to overwhelm people with all the fasting stuff. Today's kind of a chill day. It's Friday, end of the week for most people. So let's just kind of hang out and talk about stuff and answer questions, and I love that. Yeah, so I I'm thinking about what I'm cooking today, and I know I'm doing the smothered chicken. I have some things, and this is different though too. With this kind of eating, I have to be careful. Like I bought several cans of. I don't know if y'all saw my video after I did the 5-day fast. That woman after the 5-day fast was hungry, and so I bought a lot of groceries. Thankfully, most of it's in the freezer, but now I'm trying to go through and make sure I use up all of the fresh foods that I bought. So I'm trying to plan out what that's going to look like today. Those next 2 meals that I get to have. By the way, it feels really indulgent after doing 16-8 for 2 years. It actually feels really indulgent to do this 36 and 12 fast because I'm having 3 meals in a day. And so it's like, wow, I get to have one extra meal, and I actually want to have one extra meal. I still am losing some inflammation and fat while doing this. And I've only done it. This is only like my second cycle through. So this is what, day 4? Yeah, if I start by the first day I didn't eat, this would be once you get 4. So I'm really interested to see what happens, and then I'll talk about it more after the 30 days is over to see what changes have been made in my own health as I track it. I know Jen, I didn't go do that. Jen went and had her visceral fat measured before, so she could give a report on that, and I'm more than happy to share what Jen found in her own body with what changed with her visceral fat. There are some people, though, that will say, hey, you should only do the 36 and 12 once a week. So if you're lean and already have gotten most of these things under control, and again, I'm going to preface this with, this is my opinion, and like Dr. Nutritionist, I'm a woman who's working through getting her health back after years of trashy living, like most of the time, because we had bad advice from the food environment, from the doctors, from everybody. But if you're like me and you have a lot of excess inflammation, a lot of excess junk cells in there, you have a lot of excess fat, the rolling 36-12 is probably a good thing for you. So that's a choice you get to make. But if you're lean, then I would agree, like once a week is probably enough. But again, right now, I'm excited about it because I like it. With my ADD, I have impulse control. So I was telling my son last night. One of the things with ADD is there is the impulse control part. So when I hear people say, well, you want to eat before you get hungry. Well, a person with ADD, I can't do anything on the computer. I will have to fix that tomorrow. I'm going to try and get a microphone again. My voice is still breaking up. You guys, I really apologize over on the other channels. I don't know why I can't hear that, so I don't know why that's sounding like that. I wish I could. I'll try and do something tomorrow to see what I can figure out. But I've not had problems until recently, so I don't know what that is. So the best I can do is get a microphone tomorrow. I'll go live a little bit later, guys, because I'm going to allow myself to sleep in, enjoy my life a little bit, and then I'll try and be live before noon tomorrow. I'll fix the microphone. So, yeah, this actually, I really like it. I feel really full when I eat, but my ADD. So with ADD, that impulse control, when I hear people say eat before you get hungry, that's devastating to an ADD person because the impulse control or lack of it kicks in, and now you're trying something and you're having a hard time regulating and not doing snacking, especially when you're eating every 2 hours and overeating in those 2-hour things. For me with ADD, I found it's better to just have those short periods of time or take that away. That's why I loved 16-8 for all the time I did it. I knew fasting for 6 hours, not eating, not snacking, in those 8-hour time I'm eating, I'm having 2 meals, I'm not snacking. That was pretty controlled. This I like because if I want to have something a little extra, it's okay. And the science that I've been listening to doctors talk about with this 36-12 is like, yeah, you don't want to be putting stuff in your body that's going to cause more inflammation and stuff. But say you do want to go have, say I want to go get a croissant to have with my smothered chicken tonight. Y'all know I like croissants. I can do that, and as far as calories and insulin and me becoming insulin sensitive, it's not going to affect me in those ways as much as it would if I was doing it during the 8-hour window of a 16-8 fast. So I like it. It just fits with how my brain works on the day like tomorrow. I know that I'll eat everything I need to do today. I know that tomorrow I will fast. I know that I will survive tomorrow because the very next morning I get to wake up and it's Sunday, so I'm not going live. So I can have sausage and eggs and a pear and whatever I want. Oh, that I should do something with a pear for the morning drink. But there's that. So that's the 36 and 12. I might not stay on live very long this morning, guys, and just come back this afternoon since they're having so many voice breakups. Unless you guys have questions for me, I would really love to answer all of those. But yeah, I'm really interested to see how this does and what changes happen with my health. I don't see any negative changes happening. I do feel like between the 5-day fast 2 weeks ago and now doing this 36-12, that I feel like the inflammation that was in my stomach has come down quite a bit. Inflammation throughout my body has come down quite a bit. I had a really good night's sleep last night, but I had to set an alarm because I don't want to oversleep, and I still woke up like, ooh, I was sleeping good last night. So those things can all change when you start getting all of this under control. Okay, so I'm going to switch back to insulin resistance now. Are we okay with that? The only thing I don't like about this thing that I'm doing with this setup is that I don't feel like I'm looking at you guys as much because I'm checking the chats more. But so insulin resistance. Does anybody want me to go over? I'll be doing this video today, but I talked about this week how you're retaining water with insulin resistance, what's causing that. I talked about how you're in a constant state of fight or flight, so your blood pressure is a little bit increased every day with insulin resistance. I talked about how your blood vessel walls are thickening up with insulin resistance and causing less space for that volume to flow through. And then yesterday I talked about how your body can't produce nitric oxide or is producing far less of it, which is what makes your blood vessels flexible, and all of that's contributing to the high blood pressure. So today I'm going to dive into lipids and what's happening with the lipids, specifically the LDL in your body when you're resistant. So that changes. Do you guys know, how many of you guys know that you have more than one type of LDL? Because I think when we look at our labs, we see if you're doing normal labs, your yearly annual physical, and you get your complete metabolic panel, and you have your thyroid hormone on there, and you have all these other markers, including your A1C and your blood glucose, and you get your lipid panel, and you have your triglycerides, and your HDL, and your LDL. So most of us, and I'm one, think that there's LDL is LDL. Okay. Well, HDL and LDL are both cholesterol, but there's actually two types of LDL, and the calculation, you guys, it's the very after you get past the pin videos in my profile right now, the calculation that I'm going to talk about is right there, and I will drop that in one of the playlists so that you guys can find it. But what they're really trying to determine with that calculation is a ratio of the type A LDL to type B LDL, and why that's important is type A LDL is larger and more buoyant, so it just kind of floats along the bloodstream without causing any problems. But the type B LDL is denser and smaller, and so it likes to sink and stick to your blood vessel walls. That's where your cholesterol buildup starts, is that type B LDL. And insulin resistance cues your body to convert more of the type B LDL than the type A. So now we have cholesterol buildup. Is it all about the fats you're eating? Well, yes and no. If you're eating trans fats, if you're eating those fats like the seed oils, corn oil, safflower oil, canola oil, all of those that they're promoting as healthier oils, those are actually causing inflammation, causing more insulin resistance, which is killing your body to convert more into the type B LDL. The fats that I talk about and why I love coconut oil, by the way, yes, it changes things with no gallbladder, but it actually moves through the body really well, has some really great antibacterial properties, has a lot of things that I love about coconut oil. That's coconut milk. And that's actually where your MCT, those medium chain triglycerides that everybody talks about, that's so healthy and good for you, comes from coconut oil. So I like coconut products, but those types of fats are not causing cholesterol in my system. And there's this big misnomer that when we're eating those fats, we're going to have cholesterol, we're going to have high blood pressure. I eat those kind of fats all the time. So extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil. I eat avocados. I don't really use avocado oil. So let's self-correct on that. Although you can use oil. I eat raw avocados. Coconut oil, butter, ghee. So butter, olive oil, avocado, and coconut ones I use. And my blood pressure is under control. And my lipid panel is all in normal range. So why were we taught that eating those kinds of fats are so bad for us? If by personal experience, and I'm not the only one, we've seen that by using those fats in moderation. I'm not talking about overuse of them, and ditching the other fats that I call together, that I've gotten better. My IBS has gotten better. My inflammation in my stomach has gotten better. The inflammation in my joints has gotten better. So rethink the whole thing about fats, guys, because it's not what you think it is. Nothing makes me more sad when I talk to people, and even after they've gotten their numbers under control, they think they have to restrict salt and they have to restrict their fats. That's old information that we have to start getting rid of because it's not good information for us today. All right, guys. Before so anybody over on TikTok, is the sound okay over there? Because I am trying out something new. That could be part of why the voice, but it was doing it yesterday even without this. So you guys, what I do, and besides all the crazy fasting stuff that I'm playing with, for the first 2 years, to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right, I just did 16-8 fast, and I did the protocol I'm about to talk about. And that protocol looks like this. The baby girl asked about the tea. I do the tea in the morning, which is in my other cup, and I'll be drinking that the rest of this morning. So even when I'm doing three meals, I still drink 1 tea a day. A tea in the morning, it gives me mental energy and clarity, and that's really why I want to keep doing the tea anyway, because I want that mental clarity and energy. Then before I eat, and even this morning before my shake, I have a pre-meal drink, which has got a number of different fibers in it, soluble and insoluble, and they help absorb some of the, like if I was eating something that's higher in sugar, because this is really got no sugar added, outside of the little bit of fructose that's coming from those berries that I put in. So this helps with that, helps slow down the carbohydrates that my body is, so that it keeps my insulin level low. So now after 36-hour fast, right, I did this first and my high fat, high protein shake, and so now my insulin level should stay down. I'll do my ketones. I can do my ketones first. I'll do that next time. But that's it. So on a normal day for you guys, it's going to be a tea in the morning, and then before you eat anything, on 16 fast, you're going to do a pre-meal drink before you eat. If you guys want to know what that protocol is, that saved my life and got me back and all these ladies back from all the problems we were suffering from, just go to my profile on any place that you are at and check it out. And I'm gonna go dive in to see if I can figure out this voice thing for Facebook and YouTube, because I think I have my troopers Melba and Dan over there, and I want to make sure they're getting the information they need. You guys, it was a pleasure, Janice. Always a pleasure, baby girl. Good to see you. Always a pleasure to have you in here. I'll be back around 3 o'clock this afternoon when I get this this next little technical difficulty figured out. All right, have a good day, guys. Now I got to figure out how to end this on this platform too, because It's very different. So, nope. There it is. All right, goodbye, guys. Oh, it didn't end yet. You guys, I'm over here thinking around.